Look who's back with us, Senator Dan Sullivan from Senate Armed Services. Senator, it's so good to see you. Your reaction
good to see you, Liz.
It's good to see you. Former President Trump, new Washington Post interview, says Putin, quote, overplayed his hand by invading Ukraine. Trump got criticized for saying Putin is, quote, savvy and a genius. Trump says he was misquoted. He was talking about Putin making that move to negotiate a better deal for Russia. He says he was misquoted. What's your take on this?
Well, look, I think not only did he overplay his hand, as President Trump said, this is a clarifying moment for America. We're in this new era of authoritarian aggression led by the dictator Putin, the dictator Xi Jinping, and we need to make sure we're dealing with them from a position of strength. And, you know, Liz, your setup piece is one of these areas of strength, American energy. It's unbelievable that this administration would unilaterally surrender one of the great positions of strength that we have in the world right at the moment that Putin undertakes this brutal invasion. So that's something that we're going to continue to focus on, but it's something the Biden administration is still incredibly weak on.
You know, Senator, there's another gaffe from President Biden today. Watch what he told union workers about going to war.
And by the way, if I got to go to war, I'm going with you guys. I tell you. I mean it.
Okay, the White House cleaning that up, saying we're not going to war. What's your take on this?
Well, look, I mean, it's one gaffe after another, and sometimes you laugh about it, but to be honest, it's actually not funny. You know, he's the leader of the free world, and the White House is doing these cleanup operations almost every time the president opens his mouth. And it's actually becoming dangerous. It's not even funny. And I will tell you about some of these great union workers. You know, one thing I've learned in D.C., whenever the National Democrats have a choice between supporting the men and women who work and build things and the radical far-left environmentalists, they always support the radical far-left environmentalists, which is why so many of these great workers in America are seeing that the Republicans have a much better strategy with regard to our economy and certainly with regard to energy.
Including the Keystone Pipeline union workers.
No doubt.
You know, Obama claims he could not have predicted 5 years ago Putin invading Ukraine when Putin invaded Ukraine in 2014 and seized Crimea when Obama was president. So not clear what Obama is talking about and doing there. He also went after Mitt Romney for Mitt Romney saying Russia was a threat, and then we had Hillary Clinton talking about the reset button with Russia. So they're all over the map with this strategy.
Well, look, I remember this very well. One of the first press conferences I participated in as a brand new U.S. Senator was in 2015 when every member of the Armed Services Committee called on President Obama to give the Ukrainians Javelin missile systems so they could protect themselves. President Obama never did that. He never even gave them those kind of systems to protect themselves after the Russians had invaded Crimea.
Okay.
So that president has no leg to stand on at all when it comes to being tough with regard to Russia and Ukraine.
Now let's talk about this. Remember this. Biden on the campaign trail said fossil fuel executives should be jailed. Watch this.
To do is have to set sort of guide rails down now. So between the years 2021 and 2030, it's irreversible, the path we've set ourselves on. And one of which is doing away with any subsidies for fossil fuels, number one. Number two, holding them liable for what they have done, particularly in those cases where you're underserved neighborhoods and you know the deal, okay? And by the way, when they don't or when they're deliberate, put them in jail. That's what I'm not joking about this.
What is he talking about, putting them in jail? You know, is it too churlish to note that Biden failed to mention that Hunter got paid $1 million annually to sit on the board of a natural gas firm in Ukraine? Is he going to jail his son?
Well, look, I mean, you might remember what President Biden also said on the campaign trail, which is he wants to end fossil fuels. He said, we're going to do it. He says he was going to guarantee it. And you know, Liz, that's actually one of the campaign promises that he's actually trying to keep. And we're seeing the result. Higher prices, dramatically higher prices on working families. great energy workers who are being laid off, and empowering dictators like Putin and Xi Jinping. So,
well, you know what? Here's the thing, Senator. I'm sorry to interrupt, but we're feeling the pain, right? American families are feeling the pain.
Absolutely.
Middle class and blue collar workers. The San Francisco Federal Reserve says it's the president on his watch that the president's policies raised the nation's inflation rate by roughly 3 percentage points during his first year. The USDA is now warning food prices are going to go up about 5% in the coming year. And airplane ticket prices are going to go up because jet fuel inventories are down. We're going to go through this, the ways that the Democrats have long said we want to get America off of fossil fuels. They're going to talk. They talked about raising the price of fossil fuel energy, carbon taxes. We're talking cap and trade schemes, higher royalty leasing fees. Barack Obama said his energy plan, quote, would necessarily cause electricity prices to go up. Senator, sit tight for 1 minute. I want you to watch Representative Steve Scalise get so angry at what happened with the oil executive hearing. Watch this.
He then went on and issued a barrage of mountains of red tape from every one of his federal agencies to make it harder to drill in America. All of these federal agencies putting mountains of red tape on every American driller, making it harder to drill in America.
Sit tight. Watch Democrats tell Americans, if you're suffering from high gas, buy a Tesla. Watch this.
Today, the average gas price in America hit an all-time record high of over $4 per gallon. I'm willing to pay $4 a gallon. Hell, I'll pay $15 a gallon because I drive a Tesla.
Perhaps if you let the market work in this respect, people will feel pain. They'll take a second look at that Ford F-450 gigantoid truck. They'll reconsider a Tesla. You'll see hybrid innovation.
I'm happy to be standing here sandwiched between our 2 electric vehicles. Secretary Buttigieg and I both have 2 of the electric vehicles.
We have to move to clean energy solutions. Clean is in the end where we should be so that we don't find ourselves in this position again.
That's it.
And there's no sound or fume.
There is nothing.
So how do I know it's actually working?
It is.
We'll say it again. Department of Energy says U.S. electricity, nearly 70 to 80%, is powered by fossil fuels, nat gas, coal, and oil. So if you have more electric cars, you're going to need to double the use of fossil fuels, coal, oil, nat gas to power our electricity plants. Do they get it?
Well, look, Liz, I'm really glad you showed those highlights. A, it shows how out of touch so many of the Democrats are. And B, it shows that that hearing was another show trial. They're looking to try to blame everybody, whether it's the energy executives, whether it's Putin, on high energy prices. And we all know who it is. It's Joe Biden and his administration who from day one targeted the American energy sector. Steve Scalise is exactly right. They're trying to limit the production of American energy on federal lands. They're shutting down energy infrastructure like Keystone. And they are telling financial institutions with their woke left regulators to starve American energy companies from getting American capital. Of course, energy prices are going to go up. And then they go around the world begging dictators for more oil. It's a policy that's hurting the American people, hurting working families, and empowering dictators.
Senator Sullivan, thanks for joining us. It's good to see you.